Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we have a channel update. I have some major life news to share with you guys. This is going to be a bit of a longer video, so if you don't have time or you don't want to listen to this whole video, I'm going to put a TLDR in the description for you guys. That's going to kind of keep you updated. Also, in addition to that, we have a Mongolian autoplay Civ 6 Rise and Fall thing going on in the background. I'm going to try ignoring it. Hopefully it won't be too distracting for me or for you guys, but I'm just going to have that going while I talk. So, big major news. You guys probably guessed it based on the title of this video, but me and Emily are moving. So this is probably something that is 4 years coming. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving to Austin, Texas. My parents are actually currently down there now. They've been living there for about 10 years. And although I have never lived in Austin, Texas, I did grow up in Texas, but I have very much loved Austin. I have wanted to move there for as long as I can remember, just because it's a very fun city. It's very cool for millennials. There's a lot of things happening. I love how many game stores, board game stores they have. I love all the different opportunities there are there. I love the music scene. I love 6th Street. It's freaking fun. And there's just so many cool restaurants and stuff like that. And so as long as I can remember, I've actually wanted to move there. And I mean, there's a reason that this city is cool. I'm not the only one who thinks that. In fact, one of the biggest jokes right now is, hey, don't move to Austin. You know, that's like what all the locals say, because there's just too many people moving to Austin every single day. So yeah, we're going to be one of those people. Sorry, people who live in Austin. But anyways, for the past 4 years or so, me and Emily have actually been talking about it and really been thinking that we want to move down there. How this actually happened is, so like 4 years ago on Thanksgiving, Emily and me went down there to hang out with my parents and my family for Thanksgiving. We were there for only a couple days. We had fun. We went back home. Then like the following April, we actually went down for a vacation. We were there for like a week and a half, and we just kind of were driving around the city, hanging out, just having lots of fun, doing all kinds of different activities there. And I remember we were driving back to my parents' place, and we were pulling off the expressway, and I looked at my wife and I was like, man, we should move here. And she was like, okay. And that just blew me away, because I didn't really anticipate her being like, yeah, sure, let's go. And I was like, oh, all right, yeah, let's do it. And I remember I came back from that vacation, I talked with my boss, and I was like, yeah, I really feel like we need to move to Austin. And he was like, all right, cool. Whatever we need to do, just let me know. So at that point, I kind of started putting a resume together. I wasn't really good at it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I think I might have even applied to a couple jobs, but nothing really happened. Nothing really, came of it, I guess. So then the second time that we were really like, okay, this is going to happen, was before we got married. We decided, my wife ended up moving in with my parents actually about 6 months before we were married, while we were still engaged. And she moved in with them because our plan was, after we got married, we were going to start our life together in Austin. Or rather, start our marriage together in Austin. That was the plan. She had a job down there. I was going full on. Remember, this is something we both wanted to do, so I was trying to find jobs. My boss knew about it. I've always been really, honest when it comes to this kind of stuff. And so we were working hard at actually moving there. But then, because of really stupid circumstances, which I'm not going to go into it, Emily actually lost her job. It wasn't really her fault. It was a bunch of stupid stuff, and it really kind of frustrates me and makes me mad if I talk too much about it, so I'm not going to get into it. But anyways, she lost her job, and at that point, I was kind of like, all right, maybe we're not supposed to move there yet. And I don't want to force my faith on you guys, but I really felt like at that time God was saying, hey, no. Now is not the time to move to Austin. So I was like, okay. So I had to convince Emily at that point. I had to convince my parents, who desperately wanted us to move down there. And I had to convince her parents. And so after a couple weeks of just everyone hating me, I kind of got everyone on board. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And ultimately, I think it's been a very good thing, because we got a chance to start our marriage apart from our family, and it really gave us a chance to grow closer together, and I don't think that would have happened if we would have started our marriage together with my parents. So ultimately, I think it was a good thing. So fast forward to last October. If you follow my channel, you'll know I was on vacation, and we went down to see my parents. We hung out in Austin. We were there for like a week and a half, and I think at that time, both of us kind of looked at each other and we're like, yeah, yeah, we're moving. We're moving. Like, this needs to happen soon. We both felt like now is the time. So I came back from that vacation, and my boss actually approached me, and he was like, we were sitting down talking, and he was like, so I was really hoping that trip was going to provide you clarity whether or not you were going to move to Austin or not. And I was like, yeah, it kind of did, and we really feel like we need to be moving to Austin soon. He's like, all right, cool, let's figure it out. So I won't forget it, but that November then, things were just like coming into, things were just moving really, really quickly. I think I even mentioned a couple times in my videos like, hey, guess what, guys? I got exciting news. It's going to happen soon. I'm really, really pumped for it. I can't wait to tell you guys. I just need, some couple things to happen, and then I'll tell you guys. And I really felt like, I was about to get a job. I had a couple connections. I had a couple people I'd met down there. I was hitting up people, and things seemed to be moving really fast. I remember telling Emily, I was like, hey, you need to probably be getting a job here pretty quick because I think I'm about to get a job. And then nothing happened in November, nothing happened in December, and nothing happened in January. I got a couple job offers, but they weren't really right. Like, immediately it was like, no, that's just not me. I don't think that's right. And so ultimately, I didn't accept any of the job offers, and we just kind of kept, I guess, hanging here, just waiting for that time to be right. And the funny thing is, my boss actually approached me like a couple weeks ago, and he was like, well, it was probably about a month ago. He's like, hey, are you moving or not? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I really just don't know. I'm the kind of guy who's just not going to make quick decisions. I am going to make the right decision. Like, if you talk about like my TV that I have or even my computer parts, like I researched the crap out of them for weeks and weeks and weeks until it was like, nope, this is exactly what I need. This is what we're going to get. And so the same thing's kind of true with my job. Like, hey, I'm not going to just like give up a job I have right now, full-time work for, something that may not be right. So fast forward then to about 3 weeks ago, Emily was on like Indeed, or she was on some job website or something like that. And she actually found a job offer for the same company she works with, but down in Austin, and actually for the position she's been trying to move into for about the last year. The thing is, she's been trying to move into it, and maybe part of it she hasn't been ready, but really there just hasn't been any openings. And so when she saw that job, she's like, all right. So she immediately applied. She like called me and she was like, hey, I applied to this. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe this is actually going to happen this time. We'll see. And so then the next day she went to work. She told her boss, who her boss has been cool about this. She knew that we were both going to move down there to Austin someday. And so her boss is like, why did you even apply? You should just let me know. I could totally get you hooked up. So she makes some calls, and then like a day later, Emily's getting like a surprise interview. And then about a week later, higher ups in the company were actually giving her a call and actually did like an official interview. And it was like, oh gosh. And from that conversation, we kind of really felt it was about to happen. It was about maybe I'd say like a 95% yeah. And so then we spent the next week just kind of waiting. They just basically put us on ice. I think they were kind of working out details and stuff like that. And, when you're dealing with large companies, one position really isn't that big of a deal. There's a lot of other things you have to worry about on a daily basis. So I think part of it was that. And so we're just kind of like freaking out. Like, is this actually going to happen? Is this going to happen? I don't know. And then last Thursday, so a little over a week ago today from when this video is going live, she actually got the official offer, and it was like, oh gosh, it's happening, yay. But I have to say, like, my personality, my first reaction wasn't like, oh yay, we're moving. It was, oh god, we're moving, what are we gonna do? And part of it is I have a lot of friends around here. I have a lot of roots that I've dug while I've been here, over my time here. And so I think my first reaction was kind of like, oh crap, this is actually happening. And it probably wasn't the best reaction I could have had. It wasn't like, yay. It was more like, oh no, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. So I think now over the last week or so, I've been slowly getting more and more excited. I will say this last week has probably been the hardest week of my life. There's just a lot of emotion to it. We ended up telling our gaming group last weekend, and that was, oh man, that was painful. And then last Tuesday, we ended up telling my coworkers and then the rest of my gaming group and some of my dear friends, and that was just, Man, that was one of the hardest days of my life. And I think I was actually planning on recording that night, maybe even streaming or something like that. And it was just like, yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I don't know if you've ever cried a lot, and I'm not really someone who's going to cry a whole lot, but like when you're talking about leaving friends that like are dear to me, man, that makes me tear up a little bit. And just the emotions, the highs and the lows, the excitements, but then also the freaked outness and the depression from leaving friends just takes you on that emotional roller coaster, and it's just hard to do anything but just like lay down. So, all that being said, what does this kind of mean? Well, a couple things. Number one, we're going to be moving in with my parents, which is, I think, a really, really good thing. Let me say this. No one really ever told me this when I was an adult, but I found it out a couple months ago that, hey, guess what? When you go to buy a house, if you don't have 20% down payment, at least here in America, you usually have to buy mortgage insurance. And essentially what that is that's not protecting you in case you default on your loan. Basically, you can't pay your loan. No, what that's doing is that's protecting the mortgage company so that basically they get all that insurance money if you can't pay your loan. So I didn't know that, but you need to have at least 20% set aside. Me and Emily have some money set aside, but not enough to cover that 20%. So immediately when I found that out, it's kind of like, all right, well, I think we should move in with my parents when we move down to Austin, simply because we're going to be able to save quite a bit of money. And we can actually get to that 20%. The other thing I should note about this is my parents, when they bought their house, they actually bought a bigger house than what they needed because my grandma was living with them at the time before she passed away about a year ago. And so in that house, there's like this whole separate wing that they had for my grandma that had a bedroom and had her own little living room. And it was really, really cool. So we're actually going to be moving in there. We'll be living in my grandma's old bedroom. We're going to take all our stuff and put it in storage and all our extra crap. And then that living room, we're going to set up as our living room. And then I'm actually going to set up one of the extra bedrooms as my office because my computer is really freaking hot. And I don't really want that producing that much heat in a room that, you know, we may want to hang out in, especially when it gets to be like dead of summer. So also I should note that I don't actually have a job lined out right now. And I mentioned a little earlier, I'm the kind of person that has, I'm very detail oriented. I always have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm not going to move. You know, I wasn't ever going to make a move if I didn't know what I was going to do. And so this is a really awkward time for me because I'm freaking out a little bit because I don't have a job lined out. I'm planning on hopefully doing some freelance work with my friend, but I'm also really not that concerned, all things considered, because, I could work with my dad a little bit. He mentioned that, but even more than that, Austin has like a 2% unemployment rate. Also, too, the stuff I do with video editing and graphic design, I'm not going to have trouble finding work, I don't think. And I think I'm actually going to have an easier time finding a job because I'm going to be in Austin. I've actually connected with a couple companies, and usually it's like, hey, we'd love to consider you, but guess what? You don't live in Austin. So I think actually living down there is going to help my job. But I also have to say, I'm not really interested in full-time work, I don't think, right now. So a little bit of backstory on me is I've been kind of working my butt off for the last few years. Just a lot of stress, a lot of pressure in the current job I'm at. And that's kind of caused me to have a lot of anxiety. I've talked about this before in past videos where I will have panic attacks. And that's kind of recent for me, probably in the last 2 years or so. And I have it mostly controlled, but there are some weeks where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm having bad weeks. I do have medicine that's been prescribed for me. Basically, I don't take the stuff that is like the daily prescription stuff that I'm supposed to take just because I don't like how it makes me feel. I do, however, take every once in a while, just medication that's kind of like my oh crap medication. I'm not supposed to take it every day because it can become addictive, but I do take it when I'm just like really, really freaked out and stressed out. Part of the stress in my life comes from how much I work. I would actually say, a pretty hard worker. On average, at minimum, I would say my job is usually at least 42 hours a week. I'm salary, so I don't really get paid overtime. So sometimes that 42 hours is like 50, 60, 70, 80. I've worked 100 hours weeks before. So I'm at least at 42 hours a week doing that. In addition to that, YouTube, I usually spend about 10 hours a week. And although it's mostly fun, every once in a while, it's kind of like, I don't want to record today. I'd much rather sit on my couch and play Monster Hunter. And that's usually, like I said, about 10 hours a week, about 7 hours recording, 14 videos that are like 30 minutes each. That's about 7 hours. Then you add in break times, you add in times for thumbnails, times for uploading the videos and all that crap. Probably comes out to about 10 hours a week. So that's like 52 hours a week already that are just immediately gone. In addition to that, recently I've been doing a lot of freelance work with one of my friends who hopefully is going to be able to give me more freelance work when I get to Austin. But anyways, that's usually like another 10 hours a week. So that's like 62 hours of my week immediately gone. And that's quite a bit of your work week. That's quite a bit of time that's just immediately just out the door before I get to do anything else, before I get to hang with my wife, before I get to, hang with my friends, have board game night, all that stuff. It's just gone. And I have to say, over the past couple of years, I've just been really kind of like frustrated because I haven't been able to do what I want to do. One thing I did at the beginning of this year, I like to make lists. One of the things I ended up doing is I took a reflection back on 2017 and I did, hey, what was really good that happened in 2017? I looked, hey, what was really bad that happened in 2017? And then I looked at what did I miss in 2017? And one of the things that I missed in 2017 is I've been wanting to design a board game for about the past 2 years. I'm very into European board games. We talk about board games all the time. I have a ton of freaking like $100 board games that me and my gaming group play. Me and my wife just love playing. And for about the past 2 years, I really feel like I've had an idea to make a board game, but I just haven't had time to really put pen to paper. About this year, though, I've really started drilling down on that, and I've come up with some really awesome ideas that I'm really, really excited about. I'm not going to talk about today because, I'm still working out a bunch of things, and I don't want my ideas getting stolen, blah, 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 whatever. But I'm really excited to work on that. And I think being able to move to Austin and go part-time is going to free up some time for me to do that. The other thing is I really, really, really love my channel. I love being able to produce videos. This is one of the highlights of my week. But up to this point, I've not been able to dedicate too much time to it. It's hard for me to ever do more than 2 videos a day simply because my schedule. I usually have to bulk record on Friday and Saturday. And by the time you get to like video 7, 8, 9 in the day, you're just like, And if I want to do anything else like hang with my wife or play Monster Hunter or whatever game it is, it's just like, I just don't have time to do it. And so what's going to happen now is I'm going to have a lot more free time, mostly because I don't have work right now. And even if I do get a job and I get a part-time job, I'm still going to have a lot more free time to just record. And really, I'm excited to be my own boss. I get to determine my own schedule. I get to be like, hey, yeah, you know what? I will take that freelance project right now. Or no, I'm not going to take that freelance project. Hey, yeah, I'll work part-time on this day, but I'm not going to work on this day. And so what that's going to allow me to do is be very intentional about when I get to record my videos. So for example, Rise and Fall came out yesterday. However, I'm not going to have a video going live for this till sometime tonight on Friday. And that sucks because you can go to like Quill18 right now and he has like 7 videos up for the series. And I feel like I'm hindering my channel because sometimes I'm not able to put out videos quick enough. Other times I'm just not able to put out enough video or enough variety or enough content. And so being able to have extra free time is going to allow me to do that. The other thing is I mentioned that I spend almost all my days off, Friday and Saturday is usually what it is, recording episodes. Sometimes I'll record a little bit on Monday, sometimes I'll record a little bit on Tuesday, but what this is going to allow me to do is maybe now I'm just going to record 1 episode a day or 2 episodes a day or 3 episodes every single day instead of just having to bulk record on the weekend. The last thing this is going to do, and I really feel like my channel's at the point where, like, I would love to be able to make YouTube my full-time job. Like, I would love if I didn't have to get a job because YouTube was providing me enough income. Although I do get a little bit from YouTube, it's like not much of anything, and it's basically I just don't get enough views for that. So I think really where we're at as a channel, for us to grow more, I need to get more exposure. So I need more videos out there, but I also feel like I need to start streaming more. And even most of the big YouTubers, especially gaming YouTubers, they still stream to help supplement their income because of the whole YouTube adpocalypse and stuff like that. So I really feel like if I want to start making more income from YouTube, I'm gonna have to start streaming. The fact is, now that I'm not going to be working as much, and now that I'm going to have more control over my schedule, I'm going to be able to actually say, hey, guess what, guys? We're going to stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, or whatever it is. I hadn't worked that out yet. I'm going to have to probably wait till I get to Austin, but I'm planning on having set days that we're going to stream. And I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to stream those days, unless, of course, you know, maybe like it's ACL or something like that, Austin City Limits Music Festival. So, you know, I guess that's really exciting for me because, you know, this is really going to help the channel because I'm going to help to stream more, and that's going to give me more exposure on different platforms, and I'm really, really excited about that. The other thing I should mention is my parents actually have fiber internet at their house, which I've talked about before and I've tweeted about before. And oh my gosh, it's going to be so much better. Mostly, we're not going to suffer from as much data cap. And hey, my parents are paying for it. I may have to throw them some money for data cap, but still, it's going to be a lot cheaper than paying for internet myself. The other thing is I'm going to go from, you know, 50 down, quote unquote, and 5 up, quote unquote, to fiber internet, which is 100 down, 100 up. Essentially, right now, for me to upload any video takes me like 2.5, 3 hours. Now, when I'm going to be with my parents, when I was down there last October, I was uploading videos in like 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. So I could actually wake up, theoretically, like, okay, so for example, yesterday, Rise and Fall came out. I could have, like, been ready, been prepared, recorded a video as soon as it released on Steam, then uploaded a video and had it all, like, live by, like, noon Eastern or something like that. And that just would have been, like, freaking awesome. And so that's what I'm excited for, being able to, like, upload. And then we don't really, we may be able to bump up our quality. I probably need a new video camera before we do that. But we could probably stream at a higher quality, definitely. I don't know. We'll have to see. But overall, that's a freaking bonus for us and for the channel. And then let's see. Also, too, there's a bunch of gaming stuff that's going to happen down in Austin that I'm really excited for. I don't remember if I mentioned this already, but PAX South happens every January. We're going to, I've been wanting to go to it for like the last 2 years, but it keeps sneaking up on me because it's always early January, and I'm always so focused on Christmas, I forget about it. But guess what? I can now go to it. It's going to be like an hour away, but heck yeah. So maybe I can get like press badges and go to it. Definitely say hi to any of you guys if you're down there. So I'm excited about that. I know South by Southwest, which is the huge music festival, which is actually happening next month. Actually, is going to happen the week I move down there. That's actually going to be I think they have some gaming stuff I was reading with that. I don't know if I'm going to have time to go to it because I'm going to be moving and all that stuff, but there's just all these opportunities. I also know there's a bunch of streamers. Like I know Rooster Teeth is down there. Maybe I can get a job with them. I don't know. But there's just going to be a lot more opportunities for me to basically do what I love. You know, whether that's making a board game, which I hope to be able to share more about with you guys soon, maybe this year, maybe next year. I'm going to have more opportunities to stream, and I'm just going to have more opportunities to put out videos and really engage with you guys. And I'm really, 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 really freaking excited for that. So there was one other thing. Let's see. I took notes just so I didn't forget anything. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do need to mention what this means for the immediate future, though, is videos may be hit or miss. Number one, like I talked about the emotional roller coaster, I may just not be able to record certain days. I may not have as much time on weekends to record because I have to pack. I have to freaking clean a house. What I should mention is my wife's actually moving down there at the end of the month. She actually starts her new job on the 24th or something like that. No, it's like the 22nd. I don't know. It's like the last Saturday of the month. So I'm actually moving her down 2 weeks from yesterday. So in like a week, in like 6 days, we're loading up her car with as much crap as we can, and I'm moving her down there and I'm flying back. And I'm going to be here for a couple more weeks because I needed a couple more weeks to transition out of my job. But then also too, because we needed at least a month so we could get a deposit back on the condo that we're renting. So yeah, so I'll be moving down there sometime the first couple weeks in March. We have our condo through March 15th, but I'll probably be out of here by then. I think my parents are actually coming up to help me the weekend of the 3rd, 4th, I think it is. So sometime in there is when I'll actually be moving the bulk of my stuff. But I think I did mention I still wanted to stay around for that next week. I don't really know. My point is, everything's pretty hit or miss right now. So my videos may be hit or miss. I may just not be able to produce, just put out the videos because I just don't have time. I may only be able to do one video a week. When it comes to those actual couple weeks that I'm moving, I may not actually have any time to put out videos. We're going to have to see. So I'll keep you guys updated. This is a massive, 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 massive plug for my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I am definitely going to be sharing as much updates. I'm hoping to actually get a little more into social media because I'm actually going to have time again. I haven't been doing social media all that much right now just because it's like, I just don't have time. It's just one more thing to do. So I'm hoping to actually get it. Planning on, talking about the city. Freaking looking forward to hanging out in Austin. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, let's see. What else? Is there anything else I need to share? Talked about the time frames, talked about how I may or may not have a job. We'll see. That does freak me out a little bit, but it's going to be okay. Talked about how it affected the channel, talked about the internet, talked about PAX South, and I talked about more videos. So overall, I'm really, really excited. I think this is actually going to be really good for the channel. I think this is a necessary change. If I really want the channel to grow, I need to be able to put more time into it, and I think that's going to happen. I'm excited to hear from you guys. I'm excited to potentially actually maybe hang out with some of you guys in PAX South. I suppose I probably should actually get a web camera. I've been lazy just because it's like, I've always tried keeping like my personal life separate from like my YouTube life. Like, I'll be honest, like very few people, any friends of mine really actually know about my channel just because I've always kept it separate. I've just always liked just, A, you guys don't know who I am, and A, none of my, real life people necessarily know who my YouTuber Brian is. So I don't know if that'll change. I may still keep it, but we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. So love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear if there's anything specific you guys want to see from me as we're kind of ramping up the channel. I'm always looking at other YouTubers. I'm always evaluating my channel and trying to make it better. So any suggestions you guys have on that, I'll look into it. I can't promise anything. But yeah, I'm excited. I really, really, really am excited. So, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for allowing me to do something like YouTube that I absolutely love doing. And I get supported doing it. Like, it's one of the best feelings in the world when I get to pop up comments and have a bunch of people just like commenting and just like, yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Even when I get like negative comments, it's usually still, I have a thick enough skin that's like, yeah, you're probably right on that. I've always been someone who's really good at looking at both sides of the coin. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. So I guess with that, we're going to wrap up this video. We should probably, hey, let's stop the autoplay. Let's actually see what's happening. Let's actually look at world rankings here real quick. So Robert the Bruce, Scotland's actually in first place. Interesting. America's in second. Gitaja is in third. Nubia's in fourth. Genghis is in fifth. Dang, Genghis. And the Norwegians are falling way far behind. So yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys are having a great day. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode, another series. I'll see you guys on Twitter. I'll see you guys around. Bye.